Welcome to part 2 of the chess set tutorial. In the last video we modeled a bishop and a pawn and started on the other pieces. Today we're going to be working on finishing all the pieces of the chess set. If you wanted to see the last part, I have a link in the description, and let's go ahead and just get started. Alright, let's just pick up exactly where we left off. So in the last video I told you guys to just model the basic shape of these 3 pieces, and this is about where you should be. You should be with the cross being left off, with the pawns on the queen being left off, and with the notches on the rook being left off. So if you're not there, go ahead and pause the video and get there now. Alright, now that you've done that, let's go ahead and start on the rook. So if we go to front view here, we can see that this rook has quite a few notches, which makes it look like a castle. The way we're going to replicate that is we're going to go into edit mode, select this face and hit I for inset. I'm just going to go into top view by hitting the tilde key and selecting areas for notches. So now that I've done that, all I have to do is extrude this up to about that height, and my rook is now complete. Now you can go ahead and just bevel these edges here, but I don't really see a need to do that. Now the second easiest is obviously the king, because all we have to do is put a cross on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a cube, except I'm not going to add it there. I'm going to hit Shift S again and hit cursor to selected. Now I'm going to add a cube, make sure I'm in object mode so it's not the same object. Move it up, scale it down quite a lot, and about that size looks good to me. So now all I have to do is select this one, extrude it on the X by about that much. I want to make sure I have it exactly the same, so I'm going to put 0.08. And now I can just do this on the other side. Extrude X negative 0.08. And on the top and bottom. So I have this basic cross done. Now all I need to do is scale these on the Z. And select this one. Let me go ahead and isolate that by hitting the slash key. And scale these on the X. If I just hit A and deselect these ones, now I can bevel it. Alright, now that I have that cross there, I'm just going to go ahead and add the boolean modifier to this as well. Select your cross object and just select a union. Now go ahead and apply that and delete your original shape. Now you should see these are one mesh. Now all that's left is the queen. And the way we're going to do this is very similar to the rook. I'm going to go to top view again. And I'm going to select these 4 key pieces. Like that. And I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do that. So they're all evenly spaced. You should have this if you didn't edit your original circle. If you don't have this evenly, I guess you're going to have to figure out some other way. But this is the easiest solution. So just extrude this on the Z until it's about the same height as the other ones. You can obviously scale this out. Just make sure this is set to medium point. You can also scale this out. And if you switch it to individual origins, you can scale it like that. So I want these to be a pretty fine point, and I'm going to go ahead and bring this back to medium point and scale it out again until I have what I like. So this looks pretty good to me. So that is all the chess pieces done except for the knight. I'm going to go ahead, and this piece looks really similar to this piece's base. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that. Go to front view again. And just delete all the rook parts. Okay, so I want to model my knight after this right here. And I don't have a perfect side view of it, but I should be able to figure it out. So the plan right now is to use a subdivision surface modifier to smoothly kind of shape out this knight. Okay, for this knight I'm going to start with a cube, scale that down, move it up, and what we're going to do is we're going to add something called a subdivision surface modifier. So I'm going to turn up the viewport to 2, and this basically averages out the shape of your mesh. So we can add edge loops and stuff to make this kind of fit the shape of the knight we want. So I'm going to kind of make this knight a cross between these 2 knights here. So that's the general shape of my knight. Now we know the nose of the knight is going to be thinner than the rest of the knight, so we go like that. We want to pull this top up a little bit. We don't want this part to look so wonky. So that's the general shape of the knight I want, but it also needs ears and it needs a nice blocky nose. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add 2 loop cuts right here. That'll help me form the ears, and also it will make it look a little more blocky like I want. So we have this nice defined look right now. And if I add another edge loop right there, it should make it very easy to add in the ears. Just have to extrude these up. Now, I personally really like the shape of this knight. Obviously, there's many ways to make this, but honestly, for me, this looks pretty good. I really like the defined shape of this. It looks like a nice horse. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add an edge loop here just to kind of define the ears there. Yeah, this is looking really good to me. So this is my base mesh. It's very messy, as you can see, but using this subdivision surface modifier, I was able to make something that looks really quite good. Now go ahead and add a boolean modifier on this base right here and select this object. Now I can just hit Ctrl A and delete the original object. So for the auto smooth, I can just turn that up a little bit to remove that crease right there, and this knight is now done. Congratulations, you have finished this entire chess set, except for, of course, the board and rendering out the image, which I will show you in the next video. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next part where we will be learning how to render this out.